Welcome back, everyone. We're here again. Game number 4, ready to rock and roll. Keen gaming up against LGD, where Keen, yes, I get my words right, leads 2-1 in this best of 5. They are one game away from winning the Chinese qualifier for ESL One Hamburg, the first major of the season, as Nature's Prophet Earthshaker are the openers here from LGD. They banned out the Batrider and the Clockwork, removing them from the hands of Dark and Vanilla, which left the Nyx Assassin in, but Night Stalker and Kunkka were also removed as the Oracle gets taken out. Now Keen, AA and Nyx, they've got some great global power, very good opener here for them. LGD, very similar in that fact. Nature's Prophet can make up the numbers in pretty much any team fight you want, turning, you know, a 2v1 into a 2v2, turning a 4v1 into a 5v1, that kind of deal. If you want to try and pick people off and take towers, Furion is one of the best heroes to do so with. As Dark actually showed in the previous game, he was the highest net worth hero in the game. He was the real carry from the off lane with that Nature's Prophet.
5 seconds remaining.
And Earthshaker then slips into the 4 role. Keen still have the opportunity to put Nyx off lane or 4, but I'd expect the good old vanilla 4 role Nyx Assassin to come on through as Armee's anti-mage. Respect band. It does give them the opportunity for a Chaos Knight, as potentially a pick here for LGD. Could be a block pick as well.
10 seconds.
CKAA is an incredibly potent combination. There's also a Sven out there. So if this is the trouble, right? If you want to go CK as LGD, because it is Armee's like best hero after anti-mage and maybe after AMTB, I guess CK is up there. You kind of need to ban the Sven. If you ban the Sven here, Keen Gaming just pick the CK and they're like, yeah, what up? So they ban the Ember instead. Okay. They remove the mid laner's most potent hero, Ember Spirit. It gave them so many problems in that last game. What did he have, guys? What did he have? Veil, Lincoln's Boots of Travel, BKB Shivers, Refresher. And he was refreshing BKBs, he was refreshing Remnants, he was just jumping around everywhere, an absolute nuisance in every single one of those team fights after he got the Refresher Orb.
5 seconds remaining.
There was nothing really that Sven or the Broodmother could do. Their BKBs wore off and Ember Spirit was like, cool, well, I'm just going to walk over you then. Thank you very much. So what are we going to see? Keen, do you go for the CK? Do you give that to GGG? I don't think we've seen Keen play CK this tournament, but it's definitely something that is in their capability. Would be pretty nifty here, but even against an Earthshaker, you're still fine with the Phantasm. Very, very tanky illusions.
LGD's turn to pick.
Instead they go for the Weaver to start things off. Very early Weaver pick. Maybe something that LGD were looking towards as well. These Weavers, more often than not, was at the start of this qualifier, were being picked 4th in the second phase. You know, the kind of 4th pick. Seeing what your opponents have. There's no single target stuns, or there's one single target stun that you can just buy a Lincoln's against. Lack of disable from the offlaner is also a key thing to look for here. So they'll pick it 3rd, knowing that Earthshaker and Nature's Prophet, they do offer a bit of disable through Fissure and Echo Slam, but Weaver can tank up enough and potentially just time-lapse that off, as LGD go for the Yao Shadow Shaman, so they're aiming towards this ulti-cycling push strat that's, well, it didn't work out so well in game number 2, but we'll see how well it works in this match. Still looking for that Terrorblade, still looking towards that kind of Armee hero that controls the map and starts running around, taking towers. Looking for that map control. What else do we have along that same line? There's Terrorblade, CK can do a similar thing. Lycan's also a good shout, I believe, here for Armee. Could be a hero that they pick up. Howl, really sick with the Nature's Prophet. Lycan Wolves and all that pushing power. Very, very strong, and there's a severe lack of D-push here from Keen. Lots of team fight. Off-lane Tide, it will be the 4 role next there for Vanilla. And their final hero will be the mid laner. But if LGD go for a bunch of summons, the D-push is pretty much AA and Nyx currently. Not too much in the way to shove back lanes or kill off illusions. So Armee's probably asking for his Terrorblade. And Yao is probably like, well, Terrorblade in the other game against an AA didn't go so well. Are you sure you want it? Are you really sure? And Arme's probably going, yeah, dude, just pick me Terrorblade. It's fine. It'll be okay. Don't you worry. And then Yao's going to pick him something like an Arc Warden. Bloodseeker's actually pretty good here for LGD. They could just throw in the Bloodseeker. They go for the Monkey King. Cool, okay. Well, that's going to be the kind of split-pushy, one-roll carry hero for Arme, I believe. Battle Fury, Shadowblade, BKB, that kind of build here. Lots of damage coming out. They've got a second Fissure from the Boundless Strike, pretty much. Line up those stuns. Very, very good against the Tidehunter, so you can leave the Monkey King potentially in a 1v1. Shadow Shaman can lurk around and stack and pull, but Monkey won't need too much help just against the Tide, so that either shifts the Nyx Assassin down towards bot lane, where they do this dual lane Tide Nyx, where Nyx puts pressure on the Rasta, and Monkey King has to help out, or they just leave the Tidehunter down there to just leech experience and maybe dip back to farm the jungle for a touch. As Keen take out the Death Prophet, that would have been a really nice maybe hero just to try and get some real momentum going into the towers. Again, a severe lack of D-push from Keen, so Death Prophet would have been a nice little pick. There's also a lack of catch as well from Keen, right? Nyx Assassin, sure, can go invis and maybe find and hunt people, but no long-range catch to start fights outside of a Tidehunter Blink Ravage. Final ban from LGD. Mid-heroes, what do we ban? Queen of Pain, potentially. Feels like they need an initiation tool. Yeah, okay. Well, there's the other signature hero. Someone was talking in chat about the mid laner of Keen. Viper and Ember are his two signatures, and they go with a maybe Shadow Fiend. Here we go. We saw this earlier on in the qualifier. Mask of Madness, Dragonlance into BKB, or Mom into Hurricane Pike on the Shadow Fiend. Going to be incredibly strong, and he has a nice supporting crew behind him to be able to get some big Requiems out as well. As the final pick from Keen is actually a pretty difficult one here.
5 seconds remaining.
Oh, good bit of team fight, good bit of scouting ability. 2 invis heroes between the Weaver and the Nyx Assassin, of course, so that's going to burn through a lot of the money of LGD's supports. That economy game has already begun. Picking 2 invis. Is Lina your mid-hero here? It feels like a Lina game. Don't worry, I'm just looking at a hero list and I'm trying to get my head around this. Necro and Veno are still in the pool, but in China people just don't really care about them. You know, they occasionally get picked up. We see like Veno off lane, Veno mid very occasionally, Necro safe lane, Necro off lane, but mid lane for those two is a bit of a scarcity, especially for these two teams. So the final pick is going to be a Storm. Storm Spirit. That's the long-range catch then. That's going to be the hero that'll be zip-zapping around. Well, what disables do they have for him? Echo, Boundless Strike, and the Shadow Shaman's tools to be able to lock down the Storm Spirit. But that high armor hero against the Shadow Fiend mid should be a decent old time. And we might even see the dual lanes again with Nyx Assassin and Storm Spirit dealing so well with the Shadow Fiend in that 2v2. If Earthshaker decides to sit around, they will be able to get a good start there for the Storm. I think everything should be standard here for the lanes, though. I don't know if LGD perhaps consider an aggressive tri-lane. Earthshaker, Rasta, and the Monkey King could move up to top and try and pressure Weaver. Get some musical lanes going again. It's been very prominent in these qualifiers.
Prepare for battle.
Righty-ho, away we go. Game 4, 2-1 is the score for Keen. 1 game away from qualifying for Hamburg. Boots first over on Vanilla. I don't like calling him Vanilla. He's Jiang An for me. I'm going to call him his real name. A little bit of a delayed smoke as they move themselves across to start warding. They are Radiant side again. I wonder if they'll go for another contest on this bounty rune. It looks like LGD are dodging pretty hard, sending only the Monkey King up there. Oh, the treants are dead.
30 seconds to battle.
How are we going to start these lanes up then? Who's top? Okay. So they are trying to guess the aggro lane. They're sending Weaver and the AA top. Storm gets the bounty rune. 2 runes per team. Normal, normal, normal. Monkey King is top. Are they shifting across? Looks like they are. Earthshaker will be down here. Monkey King makes the long walk down, but he's a courier with 350 move speed, so he's fine with that. Nature's Prophet will be the kind of sacrificial hero on this top lane. Looks like it'll be a 1v2 as Weaver and AA make their way up there mid. Ooh. Hey, calm down. Ether Shock from Yao starts things off. So it won't be the Earthshaker here, it will be the Rasta and the SF against the Nyx and the Storm. And that is incredibly annoying as Ether Shock just keeps getting spammed onto the Storm Spirit. The Mist Stun from Vanilla doesn't help, of course, but it's all fine for now. Tide Hunter against the Monkey King, going to struggle there. That's the matchup that LGD want. They want the Monkey against the Tide, so they get that nice little bit of harass out from the passive, but the Chilling Touch from the AA will deter the Monkey back. Storm Spirit still leading in CS here, but Shadow Fiend has been given a good bit of a start here by the little Rasta. Make sure that the Nyx and the Storm don't completely shut out the SF from the first couple of waves. Denies come out as top lane Weaver gets the salve cancelled, in fact. Fisher is down, Shikuchi is up. He doesn't have a salve though, so he's in a spot of bother actually. Going to have to make a long run around. The 9k player on this Weaver, Xi, going to have to wander a long distance as Fisher is starting to come back up. He cancels the clarity to make sure that it won't come through. Storm and Nyx still hanging around mid, but Weaver has been completely shut out of this lane. He's actually going to die. The second clarity from Victoria finds the kill on the Weaver. The 9k player taken out by the Earthshaker. LGD off to a good start. Haste out from Maybe on the Shadow Fiend. What's he at now? 6 and 4. Yeah, good. Cracking. 10 and 6 on the Storm. Pretty much expected though from this lane as they shift the Weaver back down towards bottom. Probably should have happened a little faster, but Tide TP's top. Next Assassin will return to this middle lane though. Look at this. 3 heroes from LGD going to contest. They need to give, they feel they need to give Maybe a much better time. Good little last hit there, that was sick. SF projectile was flying and Storm's just like, nah, that's mine. I'll take it. Carapace, a little bit of damage back to Maybe. Not going to get the raised damage return though, unfortunately. Nyx Assassin does miss out just a touch on that. As Nature's Prophet comes to the bottom lane and is musical lanes like we expected when we saw the draft. Just people shifting up and down, back and forth, trying to make sure that they have some kind of advantageous matchup. You know, laning stage is very important in the current way the game is played. So this smoke from Yao with Victoria moving down towards the AA on bottom lane. The Fisher, he'll only land onto one. Weaver with the Chilling Touch now moves towards the Nature's Prophet, so they've lost their support, but we don't care about the AA. We care about the Furion. Nyx Assassin running forward, shackled up. The TP cancelled. Weaver's going to get this kill. Takes down the Nature's Prophet, looking for more now. The nice little impale from Vanilla comes through. Yao's in trouble. This gank is not worked out. They'll get 2. They might even get 3. Victoria, no spells left to cast. This 9k Weaver, he's killing people left and right. Victoria not going to fall. Furion TPing back into lane, looking for an aggressive play back onto Vanilla. Just get the hit onto the AA though. Not going to finish anyone off just yet. But yeah, the musical lanes are very important to get these matchups where you want them. Monkey against Tide. Force the Nyx away from the Storm Spirit so the Shadow Fiend can actually farm in the mid lane with the Razors. Fortunate regen rune there for the Storm. SF can't really trade too effectively with it, but with a double raise from Maybe, he says, yeah, screw your regen. Goodbye your HP. Very nearly kills the Storm as well. The bottle regen comes through in time. Maybe. And that is the sickest play I've seen in a while. Storm, such a ballsy move to walk into the level 3 raises of the Shadow Fiend. Very, very aggressive. Earthshaker's still lurking around in this Radiant jungle, over in the darkness. Just throws down an observer ward, watching for the storm, as he will naturally kind of shove the wave and come back and farm these camps from time to time, so they'll know exactly where the storm is at pretty much all times. Monkey free farming top. The Tide did get a decent start. Sol Ring and Iron Talon already up with what, level 3 Anchor Smash? No, level 2. He's about to hit 5 though, so the level 3 will come in. Weaver has fallen, and looks like the Nyx will die as well, chased into the trees. The stick charge is there with the carapace available. He throws it out early as Yao baited it out with an attack animation, or a cancelled animation of his Ether Shock, or the Shackles it looked like there. But finally, FY finishes it off with a double kill on his bottom lane. Weaver's not having an amazing time. LGD playing out of their minds. Very, very aggressive. They're not happy that they're losing this series 2-1. TP in on the Prophet, dealing with the Storm Spirit. There is no level 6, so Storm is taken out with the double raises there from Maybe. That's an easy, easy kill. Vanilla looks for a bit of a trade back, but he's never going to finish off FY. And in fact, he might lose his life here. FY, careful with the carapace. He's got another Sprout to throw into the mix. Vanilla running up and down the Fissure, making sure he doesn't get enchanted. He starts the carapace. He'll use it now, but FY kills him off. Takes down the little bug. Maybe wasn't even involved. He ran off to get a haste rune, it looks like. And oh, maybe he's not gone bottle. Maybe actually with the magic stick, Aquila moving straight into the treads, finishing off the wand. No bottle for him, as he'll get the Mask of Madness. And then we'll see maybe the Dragon Lance into the BKB. I'm not sure if he'll go for the Shadow Blade this game or the Hurricane Pike, but Earthshaker leeching experience from the Storm. Nice little enchant totem in the Fissure, the TP from the Prophet, level 6. Still not here. Storm Spirit looking to get a trade off, but Shadow Fiend finishes him off, and Nyx just can't do a damn thing. Earthshaker finally falls. Dark comes in. He's level 6 with a Soul Ring. Can he ravage? Yes, he can. The Shadow Fiend's caught. No Requiem, so they'll finish him off without any damage being taken by themselves. No TP here. The Nature's Prophet, though, has the phase boost, but Shikuchi's faster. Weaver speeding on along, chasing down the Furion. In comes the Chile Hands. The Gemini attack does a decent chunk of damage, but the Sprout stops the Nyx from getting any kind of follow-through stun there onto the Furion, so he's away scot-free. Bit of a dive there, but you're keeping the Storm out of level 6 range. He now knows there's an Observer Ward somewhere around here, so he's like, screw it. I'm going to go top. I'm heading up here. I don't want to deal with the Shadow Fiend anymore. He is way too big. Start reclaiming souls now, as Maybe returns to the middle lane, reclaims it as his own. Yao, a lone bottom though. Nyx, hexed up. Great start by Yao, but they'll still land the Impale. The damage output looks more than good enough. He'll buy a Sentry Ward with his dying breath. Use my money. Buys the Sentry. Weaver threads the needle down a bottom lane apparently. Cool, I guess. Nice little voice line. But it's a trade, the 1-for-1 support for the support, as Wrong is removed. Dark should be fine, just a casual Sprout by FY. Difficult game so far for Keen. Still looking at level 4 on the AA. Rasa and the Earthshaker, but that's okay, they'll get their levels eventually. It's in fact, this Storm has just hit level 7, that's a little bit worrying, but Weaver, who was level 5 until maybe 10 seconds ago, clips into 6, finally has time lapse to get away from any kind of dangerous positions, because, yeah, I mean, yeah, this position here, where there's 4 heroes running at you. There are 4 heroes in your lane. What do you do as a Weaver? You run away. You literally have to run away. One good Fissure could really set up for a huge kill. 700 HP Weaver. He pops one of the raindrop charges. Not actually going to be able to finish anyone off here. Hex out from Yao onto this Invis Nyx. They still land a stun though onto the Nature's Prophet. A Storm gets involved. Level 7 allows him to get a kill. Takes down the killing spree of FY actually, who had an amazing start with the phase drums and moving into the Orchid. But now Storm, he starts to become a relevant hero. Soul Ring is up. Treads are on their way, and he'll shift quickly into the Bloodstone as he starts farming jungle, hiding off the map and making sure that no one knows where he is. 1 raise, 2 raise, look for the 3rd raise. There we go with a jump forward from Arme. The Monkey King comes in to seal the deal, as that was a really nice Scouting play from the SF, waiting on top of that ramp for the Tide, as you just know that he's farming there with his Iron Talon. This now gets converted into a tier 1. Control of this northern part of the map belongs to LGD currently. You could even argue that the bottom third of the map belongs to LGD. Weaver has to farm jungle. It's basically the middle part that Keen can actually farm and utilize, and they've already lost their tier 1 mid as well. Super difficult for them. Storm Spirit running out of mana, just chasing back on the Shadow Shaman. Ancient Apparition is about halfway from level 5 to 6, so they'll have that Ice Blast up and running, and potentially that global kill threat with a Nyx and a Storm. Being able to find little squishy targets here and there. There's the maybe Mom. Hurricane Pike will be the next item. Earthshaker, still level 4. Almost 6 on the raster, so we can start looking for the Serpent Wards onto the tier 1s. Or at least the final tier 1 down in this bottom lane very shortly. Ah, yeah. I see you guys talking about the Nature's Prophet staff. We'll come in a second because Nick's looking for the Monkey King. Not going to find him. But basically, it's a courier effect gem, Bleak Hallucination, that you could, for some time, it was like a bug or there's some mistake in the code where you could actually put it onto items that weren't couriers. So I know that, I think Xiao8's Tusk has it. A bunch of Furians have it as well. Jump in for the Monkey now, but he doesn't get the carapace off in time, unfortunately. The Nyx Assassin could have been able to Vendetta Strike and then stun afterwards, but not so fortunate. Misses out just very slightly on the timing of it, as Earthshaker and Shadow Fiend heading down through this Radiant jungle. Weaver still very, very sketchy on these items. Low on the net worth, very low on the HP as well. Sub 1000. Has to switch to the Strength Threads at some point. TP from FY comes in from behind. No reveal on him, but there's still a sentry placed as the Hex. And the Shackles, no, just the Hex. Yao misses out. The second sentry's placed, but Yao can't get there in time as the Ice Blast. It was thrown. It definitely was thrown. Doesn't hit anyone. AA just falls.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
A little bit of trade here, though, for Keen Gaming as they move into the tier 1. Monkey King has Wukong's command, and he'll just jump forward and clear through this creep wave, moving swiftly towards his Battle Fury, as we've said and as we've seen throughout the qualifier. Battle Fury into S&Y, Manta, Shadowblade, BKB, kind of a pseudo anti-mage for those of you for those of you guys who have not seen it. Being able to jump from tree to tree, farm camps like this, very similar to how an anti-mage functions. With Battle Fury, you clear through them very quickly, and you can split push very nicely as well with nice little escape mobility item, skill even, not an item. I should be up and running very shortly. Ancient Apparition, sub 1000 net worth. We do go in onto the Earthshaker here as the next assassin with an Ice Blast flying, landing in onto ES, 2-man Echo. Oh, the Weaver spotted there as the sentry killed off. Immediately 2 heroes dead. The Earthshaker is traded, but LGD with a sick plays. Victoria says, yo, what up? I've got a sentry. I see you, Weaver. Yeah, I will Echo Slam you both. Is Dark okay? First Raise misses out, but the Mask of Madness popped by maybe. Dark is going to have to TP here, hiding in behind the trees, and there is not enough damage from the Shadow Fiend to finish off the Tidehunter. Right now, Keen, they would love to be looking for these kills and picking people off across the map with Storm and Nyx and AA. LGD, though, very good with their grouping up, very good with their 5-man, and the fact they've kept this Weaver out of commission for quite some time now. Very, very important. Heading into the Diffusal Blade first, straight after the Treads Aquila.
Is under attack.
A golden thread.
Halfway to blink is this Earthshaker. They're going to go for a smoke here, aren't they? Is it coming on the courier? No, nothing's happening just yet. Yao, he just wants some help. Dewarding. There we go. Takes down one of the obs. We'll be able to find these sentries, but Dar Observer Ward's already very deep. Looking in the jungle, looking in the lane, trying to find if anyone is lurking around where the Storm's hiding. Look for the Nyx as he vendettas up and runs towards you as well. This time, not vendetta, just goes for a mana burn and a stun, missing out there onto FY. Ice Blast, not going to connect. You know, it does, it does. Getting a little bit of perfect world lag, losing some of the projectiles and stuff, but FY should be fine. Retreats all the way back to his tier 2. What's Mr. Monkey? Mr. Monkey doing? That's Battle Fury complete now, right? He should have it. He can buy it right now if he wants to. He seems to be aiming to go to mid lane to clear out this creep wave before buying it. Yeah, just quick buy that broadsword, my dude. Oh mate, pops his ultimate. The carapace is there, but Boundless Strike with a Fisher. Weaver obliterated. Monkey King still takes a lot of damage, and the Ice Blast will secure that kill onto him. So a 1-for-1 trade, but in the meantime, it's not. They get a tier 2. It's a tier 2 and a 1-for-1 trade. LGD, 7,000 net worth in the lead, 5 kills ahead. Storm Spirit still trying to get himself into the Bloodstone, skipping out on the treads, in fact. Not even bothering with those just yet. Knows he needs the Bloodstone to be even a relevant hero this game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fury and Orchid will also soon be done.
Dire's top
This
tower
LGD
is
team
under
is super
attack.
farmed across the board. Yao is the only one really without any big item, but he's got Arcanes and Observer Wards and the Magic Wand. He's perfectly happy just to walk around with these. Doesn't need too much else.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Scan down towards the bottom spot. Oh, hello. Oh, you're a Nyx assassin, are you? Good sprout, but cut through the trees equally. Good play there from Vanilla. Swiftly moves himself onwards. The dust, it wears off, but he doesn't have invis anymore. So with the ether shot coming on through, Vanilla jukes through the trees. Hex is there. And the final sprout to give some vision for Arme. Find himself a third kill of the game. 3-1 and 2 on the Monkey King. Battle Fury into Shadowblade, like we expected. And yeah, Shadow Fiend, same story. Same build yet again. Mask of Mana's Hurricane Pike into the Black King bar.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Everything
attack.
very normal from LGD. Nothing out of the ordinary. No cheesy tactics. This is just them playing very, very well. While the Radiant team, their Weaver has had an incredibly rough game. Timelapse is back, away from that Nature's Wrath damage. Looking for the Observer Ward in the mid lane, but unfortunately the Sentry is about, I don't know, 15 units away from the Observer Ward. They will smoke in behind, so they won't get scouted out just here, as Nyx can pop his Vendetta, move forward, look for the smoke to get popped, but they've already lost the Storm. The blink from the Earthshaker, starting off with the Echo into Enchant, finds the kill as the Tide looks for the Ravage, but there's only one hero here. It's only the Earthshaker. Ice Blast will secure the kill, as Weaver actually is the one to take the final killing blow onto the ES. But it is just an Earthshaker. Shadow Fiend gets himself out. Poor Weaver. Yeah. Goes for the Dragon Lance to tank himself up. The Diffusal Blade was like never going to happen. Way too glass cannon, I think, for this game, where there is so much damage coming out from LGD. Now, Storm Spirit. You have your Bloodstone. Immediately gets dropped down to 8 charges thanks to that death. That was started off by the Blink Echo of Victoria, but this is where the Storm looks to start to snowball. Next Assassin will be looking to scout people out, hunting people down. Looking in these areas, back here in the jungle, looking for the ancient areas. So it's down to LGD to start placing their sentries. Get sentries and Observer Wards. The pairs are very important. There's an Obs up here, but you'd like a sentry to go along with it. See where the Nyx is hiding, because wherever the Nyx is, the Storm and the Ice Blast are likely to follow. Yao, sentry to D-Ward, gets rid of a sentry. Nyx Assassin is still wandering forward, but Yao has already TP'd home. Nature's Prophet's not going to be found as well. LGD, they're just completely outmaneuvering Keen here. They actually won't find anything at all. Radiant lacking behind now. 9,000 net worth lead for LGD. Shadow Fiend, how close are you getting to this? He's slowed down a little bit, it feels here. I guess 1,700 gold is a lot to be saved up 20 minutes in with all of these items already obtained. Monkey King Shadow Blade on its way out. Here we go. LGD, they are now properly ready to go and fight, aren't they? Blink Echo should be up in 15 seconds, very shortly. Shadow Fiend has this Invis rune, so he's able to scout out some members of Keen potentially here if he wanders on down towards that bottom rune spot, but he'll move through the mid lane, hide up on top of this ramp to see if anyone wanders in. He has a sentry here also, looking for the Nyx Assassin, but Vanilla, he's wandering ahead of the Storm Spirit. This is where he needs to be. He needs to be hunting people in behind this tier 1 down at bottom lane. Dire Scan looking for the Nyx again. Monkey King, he has been found. Don't know if they can kill him off though as he jumps up onto the tree. Now down onto the creeps. They could throw an Ice Blast, but they're not sure where the rest of the players are. Fisher, Link, a silence from FY, and Weaver is immediately taken out. Removed from the game as well. They get Yao. Some kind of consolation prize. The trouble is, Shadow Fiend arrives to the party. Shrine is available. Will pop it as a Radiant retreat, still holding on to Ravage. Blink and Force Staff available for Dark now. Not going to go for the Greaves or the Pipe. Doesn't even go for the mech. TP themselves away. Vanilla looks like he's been found. He's been rustled here. He's trying to run away, but the one creep. No! One single creep spots him. He's found a nice little juke spot through the trees. The silence is there. Orchid from the Nature's Prophet. Vanilla, Jiang'an, he has Vendetta with the Carapace as well, and it doesn't look like there's too much reveal. Will Yao be able to get there in time? TP's to the shrine, gets the dust off, but Jiang'an, he has found a nice little avenue of retreat. Yao could pop a sentry down, but doesn't feel like wasting it just yet.
A golden thread.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I just heard Storm zip like a million miles. What's he up to? 9 Bloodstone charges, looking for the bounty rune. Going actually straight into the Orchid. Interesting. That's a very, very aggressive item, seeing as there's already an Orchid here on the Nature's Prophet. There's Battle Fury Shadowblade on the Monkey King. There's going to be a BKB soon on this Shadow Fiend as well. This Orchid basically gonna net him some kills onto Yao potentially. Definitely gonna be a rough one.
Middle tower is under attack.
I thought maybe he'd go for, you know, a Yules or maybe a BKB, something along those lines, but the aggressive play seems to be the way he wants to go. Radiant Scan in behind these trees down to the south. They think it's just the Nature's Prophet, but the smoke here from the rest of LGD prep themselves. Yao moves forward. Obs Ward on the low ground. No sentry place just yet. Do they have any? I guess they know the smoke hasn't been popped, so there's no point wasting a sentry, right? But there's a smoke now from the Radiant. No BKB on the SF just now. They Force Staff. They TP away. They are out of here. The Nyx catches one. He sees the Earthshaker, and that will be the one kill they get. Up to 10 now. Trying to reclaim his Bloodstone charges. Storm Spirit doing decently well as this Radiant Observable sees through the trees that were cut down by the Furion, and Yao jumped on. Ice Blast perfectly placed. He got the Hex out onto Storm, but Storm chases him and kills him off. Nice little number of pickoffs there. 2 supports brought down, back up to 11 now. Storm gonna start feeling happy. Keen starting to get into the swing of things. Weaver getting some gold in his pockets as well. Dragon Lance into Diffusal Blade, only a recipe away from finishing that item. As they look to pressure tier 1, the trouble is Nature's Prophet constantly on the opposite side of the map to you as you're taking tier 1. He's looking to pressure tier 2 already.
Oh, I feel better already.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Bounty.
Being pulled from one side of the map to the other. Keen not being allowed to execute their game plan just yet. Oh, okay. This is very nice. I like it. 24 minutes in, Ancient Apparition says, you know what? We're slowly kind of being starved and choked out of this map. We're losing map control. I know map control is one of these kind of generic terms we kind of used, but basically here they're losing areas to farm, right? That's what map control means, is areas to farm, areas to smoke from, platforms for you to launch yourself into advantageous situations. That's basically map control. So they're losing all of their towers, they have no control of their jungle, they've got one ward out, they now have de-warded this dire ward inside their jungle. They're moving around looking for any kind of initiation tools through observers and vision that the dire could be trying to utilize here. He says, screw it, I don't need a glimmer or a force. We need map control right now. I'll try and take it. A good smoke in from LGD though says, we don't care about map control. You can buy a gem and reclaim any part of this map that you want. Because right now we're dropping Serpent Wards in the Roshan pit and we are sneaking an Aegis for our Shadow Fiend. This might not be over just yet. Oh! Oh! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. That was very weird. Maybe didn't do that. That was Tide. Tide blinked in, 4 staffs out as Roshan was dying. He could maybe have stolen it if he'd ravaged. That was very bizarre. But so what I assume is he had it queued up. Like, he moved here, he shift queued blink to jump, and he shift queued 4 staff, like he shift queued a movement on himself to face this way, and then shift queued 4 staff to actually push himself over. That's probably what happened there. Because it happened so quickly, it almost certainly would have been a shift queue. Because if he'd seen that Roshan HP, he would have stuck around, he would have ravaged, he would have stolen the Aegis pretty much. Maybe even stolen the kill on the Roshan. But now, DD, Shadow Fiend, Maskman is up and running with the Aegis of the Immortal over on it. Monkey King still pushing down to the bottom lane as the Storm Spirit gets denied out. The Bloodstone Suicide does come on through. But LGD, they're going to try and push high ground any moment now. They've got pretty much all the tools they need at their disposal. Just 20 seconds. They have to wait for the Serpent Walls to come up. Fisher starts things off with a Sprout and a Silence, but again, a good 4 staff. Coming out here from the Radiant team, the Tide Hunter gets his nice little assassin out of trouble. As long as AA holds onto this gem, everything is not doom and gloom. 7 Bloodstone charges on the Storm. He did lose a bunch of them, denying himself on the bottom lane, but that's fine. They'll find a way back. They'll find a way back. LGD, they do hold the keys to this game. Radiant scan up towards the top. They know Monkey and Prophet. Well, they know Prophet +1 or +2 are lurking around. Shadowblade going to wear off in about 2 seconds here from Arme's Monkey King. Storm zips forward with a Sentry to Dust. Wukong's command cancelled out by a 2-man Impale. In comes Victoria though with an Echo Slam ready. He can't find a target. He's fished himself off. He can't get in with Wukong's command now attacking the Storm. They shackle the Nyx. They'll look for this kill, but it's likely all they'll get. In the back end, there's the SF. Cold Feet will snap onto him and he will be held in place, but running forward with the Aegis of the Immortal, he feels pretty much invulnerable and he will slam down the Ancient Apparition, clears him up and takes the gem out of the hands of the Radiant, or does he? Storm zips in, zaps out, gets the gem, but he might be in trouble. A double 4 staff up into the high ground. Haha! You're not finding me. Perfect play from Vanilla and Dark, the Tide and Nyx. Or Nyx and Tide, saving the Storm Spirit after the nice little gem takeout there.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified.
But here's the Serpent Wards, here's the Aegis SF, here's the high ground push. Vanilla tries to get in to do a bit of chip damage, but with that Fisher, he's blocked out. Storm zip zaps up and down. Still pretty low on the old mana there. 7 Bloodstone charges only. Tier 3 finally falls, and LGD Tide. This Ravage is not worth it. He forced staff forward, but he's dead. The Echo blinking in onto Storm, obliterated and destroyed as LGD. 21-12. Look like they have this game almost in the bag. 30 minutes in, but this has been a breeze from A to B. There really hasn't been a contest from Keen Gaming in this one. Game number 4 is just LGD rolling straight through them. Starting the fight off. Nyx with a 2-man Impale. 2-man with that stun from Monkey. Time lapse away, but they've lost their Nyx now. Racks are falling. I do wonder if LGD could maybe shift towards the middle lane here and take another tier 3.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
I'll play it safe for now. Taking one full lane of racks is all they really desire at this point. Storm has been shut down.
Radiant's top
And defending
tower
against super
under
creeps
attack.
in this top lane is going to be an awkward experience. As maybe takes an Ice Blast to the front of the face. He takes the Shrine as retribution though.
Top shrine
Shouldn't
has
lose
fallen.
out on the Aegis there, as he still has enough HP to survive through the ticks of the Ice Blast. Weaver really has been a non-factor in this game. Mid-table net worth, half the net worth of the Shadow Fiend. Diffusal, Dragonlance trying to buy a BKB, but he really hasn't been able to do too much in this game as Earthshaker. Oh, closing in on the net worth of the Weaver there with a full Shadow Blade complete. Do they have a gem of their own on the Dire? Doesn't look like they do. Nature's Prophet could potentially be given
Dire's middle tower
one of them
is under
there.
attack.
And Nyx Assassin still scouting them out, but it's a full commitment for this bottom shrine and maybe down towards the bottom tier 3. Oh, hello. Nyx Assassin spotted by an Ob Sentry combo, but he force staffs down, carapaces away. Make sure that no damage
Radiant's
is going to come his way.
bottom shrine is under attack.
That shrine dies incredibly quickly. Hyperstone on the Monkey King. Butterfly
Radiant's
fully
bottom
done
shrine
for
has
maybe
fallen.
here as he disassembles his Mask of Madness. Now moving into the Satanic. And this is one of the things when the new Mask of Madness was built, a lot of people were talking about the ability to disassemble on heroes like SF, on Troll, to go for that Satanic and the Butterfly. Even heroes like Gyrocopter, who love those items so much. But very rarely do we see it actually put into practice. Maybe. Here we go. He's showing us how to get it done.
Radiant are scanning.
Keen, they aren't out just yet, of course. They still have Tide Ravage, Ice Blast, Storm, lots and lots of damage output between them and crowd control to try and deal with this Monkey King and SF. But with the BKBs on what, 9 and 10? Oh, 9 and 8. Oh, okay. I didn't realize Monkey had used so many of his charges, but I guess that makes sense. He's had it. He's had it for quite some time after the Shadow Blade. Yeah, but with those BKBs with such high durations, it's going to be really rough because you rely on a Blink Ravage, and the reaction times of Arme and Maybe are incredibly good. So even if you blink directly on top of one of those heroes and Ravage, so the tentacles don't have the travel time, you're still probably going to get BKB counted by one, if not two of them. Vanilla spots out the Monkey King here. The Ravage catches Earthshaker, and only Earthshaker. Here comes the BKB from Monkey. This is going to be the last fight of the game. There's no mana on the Storm Spirit, so the Wukong's command clears up the Tide Hunter. Ancient Apparition does kill off the Earthshaker, but he'll lose his life immediately after. Maybe. Makes damn sure of that as the BKB from Weaver buys a little bit of time. The lapse in time. Weaver gets onto the high ground, but now he has nothing left to give, and LGD, full HP, relatively healthy with a Serpent Wolf to throw into the tier 3. AA buys back. No Ice Blast for a good 10 seconds, 14 in fact. Storm Spirit has regened up, but finding a target in the mix of all of this is incredibly hard. BKBs are down though, so that's something they could maybe try to exploit here, but how they can exploit it is beyond me, to be perfectly honest. As Yao gets himself an Aghanim Scepter. He's just placed his wards, unfortunately, but for the next go-around, he'll have that Ag's upgraded ulti. And maybe even the... No, he's not going to have level 20 by then. He's not going to have the +4 wards. Maybe later on in the game, if the game continues. But I think everyone involved basically seeing LGD as 95% sure to win this game, maybe even just 99. Very, very few things that Keen can do. And most of the things that they can do revolve around the Nyx hunting down like a solitary target, finding an Ice Blast and a Storm Zip onto them, just to try and get that numbers advantage. But with a gem now on the Shadow Shaman that was stolen away from the Ancient Apparition, not reclaimed by the Storm this time, they'll be able to see that Nyx coming every step of the way. And with the 5-man from LGD, there really is no solitary target to find to pick off either. Weaver found the strike with a Blink Echo, chain stun, and that's Weaver dead for a minute with no buyback. He's nowhere near the buyback gold either, 600 gold away from it. This is going to be high ground. This will be another lane of racks. Shadow Shaman, Serpent Walls in 30 seconds. They could even wait around and go for tier 4s or maybe even the bottom tier 3s and lane the racks there. Because LGD really do have this game under control. BKB from the Nyx Prophet. Dark forces it out there. He doesn't have Ravage, but that was a pretty sneaky play. They lose their barracks, but even without Ravage, he manages to blink on top of the Nyx Prophet, force the BKB. Now stun from the Nyx. Trying to slow this down as much as they possibly can. The push from LGD, so potent though. Serpent Wall to back up in 5 seconds time. BKB comes out from the Monkey King. Arme throws the Wukong's command in behind the tier 3. The Nyx finds a little avenue to come in and attack with a Blink Ravage there. Maybe gets the BKB. Monkey King with a Balance Strike. They've killed off 2. The Nyx and the Tide both obliterated. And Storm Grid always killed off a couple. Shaker and Rasta both taken out of the game, but the Storm Spirit is dead. Suicides himself, but has a buyback available. The trouble is, GG is called. Mega Creeps will be spawning. And Keen Gaming didn't think that they had a chance. 16 to 29. Even though they technically won this fight, looking at the overall metrics, LGD will tie things up. And guys, we are going to game number 5. The deciding match between LGD and Keen coming up. But if that's sign of things to come, LGD really do have Keen's number. A bit of a wonky draft, very focused around the Nyx, the Storm, and the AA, but you've got to say that GGG there on the Weaver had a rough time. First blood given to the Earthshaker very early on. Annihilated by the Nature's Prophet as he got phase splits before the Weaver could really do anything. Just didn't have the levels or the momentum to carry on forwards. He did well with what he was given, but what he was given really wasn't amazing. But yeah, game 5. Game 5. 2-2. From a best of 5 to a best of 3 to a best of 1. I can't believe it's happening. Can Keen Gaming, after what, less than 2 weeks from splitting from eHome, making their own org, starting up this new gaming clan, Keen Gaming, can they defeat one of the oldest clan houses from what, like 2008? When was LGD formed? It was like 2008 or 2009 or something. You know, it's like almost a decade old, LGD. 10 days against 10 years is what we're looking at here, pretty much. Can Keen Gaming do it? We'll find out. Short break coming up in just a little bit. We'll see what happens.